Hello, hello, hello. Let's see what's going on if this damn thing's working. Anybody there? This is Saturday night and we are live. And just to give everyone a heads up, if you haven't been here before, there's two live streams functioning right now. There's a vertical format and then there's the horizontal. Okay. So the horizontal is where you want to get to if you want to see the charts, because it gives you the big screen. Otherwise, the vertical format, the simplistic one on your phone where you just hold the phone like this, you'll see it, but it's really tiny and it kind of, it's just for people that format is for people who just like to listen, right? But if you want to see your chart, if you want to be on, you got to get to the other live, and they're all on the channel. They're next to each other as two separate live streams, but they're back to back. They're right next to each other. If you go to the main channel page, you'll see two versions. Why they don't show you before you click on it, like this is vertical, this is horizontal, I really wish they would have that in there, like have it labeled. That would help. Yeah. So until they figure their crap out, and it's not a YouTube thing, by the way, that's a StreamYard thing. Or maybe it's their lack of communication to each other. I just don't know who the heck, but it's StreamYard that enables, this is an option through StreamYard, the dual lives, the dueling live streams, it's the same live stream. It's just showing it in two options, two formats, just to accommodate more people, I guess, whatever. Yeah. All right, I don't know where the chat is, so give me a second to find it because I have two screens on the screen and it's just kind of wonky. We got work to do. I got people who've already sent money, so I got to get to work. Stacy, by the way, Stacy, are you here? Let me look at my phone. We're going to get right to work. Stacy, I got your email and it's a good idea, what you sent me in that email. So I like that idea. And anytime I know in advance, yeah, it really is a very iffy thing, just so you know. Sometimes people don't notify me until hours before a live stream, and I might be in the middle of a reading, so I don't necessarily know that information sometimes until an hour before the live stream begins, or maybe even less. So whenever I know the information, I will get it to you. And we're just discussing how to try to make the live stream flow a little bit more smoother. That's all. And Stacy had a good idea. And I will definitely follow suit because it makes sense. Okay, hold on a second. I got to get my sage, not my sage, my cedar. And then CG should be up first because CG contacted me. And yeah, so it's CG. And I don't know if Bonfire checked in yet. Is Bonfire here? Bonfire also checked in through email, sent money. So when people send money, they get, yeah. That's the way it works. And then if you haven't sent money and you're still hanging out here in the chat, which is great, we'll get to you for sure. But I give you what we call a speed reading. Not that it's less quality. I just can't spend as much time on it for obvious reasons. I got to find the damn chat. Oh, there it is. Okay, great. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, great. So Team Wolf, hey, Teamwork. I said Team Wolf. Teamwork. Teamwork says hello from CG. CG can't get the chat on her phone. Okay, I did drop the link. Hopefully that is going to work for you, CG. Yeah, if you want to see the charts, again, if you want to see the charts, right? Like they're showing me the vertical and the horizontal. I'm seeing how that looks on your guys' end. And it's just very different. Okay, CG knows what CG is doing. CG's got the link and is already in the horizontal format. Excellent. Okay, so let's get CG in here. Let me get the chart up and let me get the ball rolling. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? I'm not hearing you. Can you guys hear me? I didn't even ask if you guys could hear me. Oh, your microphone's off. Hold on. Let me see if we can unmute that for you. Oh, there we go. Are you there? Oh, CG bailed on that one. Let me get this one. Okay, I got you. I got you now.
Okay. Hi.
You did it very good. Let me kick this other one out of the studio. I hear.
Hello.
Oh, I hear me really loud in the background there.
I'm
Is there any way to turn that down?
sorry. I'm fighting with
no,
with
that's okay.
Christina here.
No, that's all right. There we go. Oh,
Sorry, I'm fighting with Christina here.
no, that's all right. There we go.
We are together.
That's fine. Is there any way to turn that volume? Because we're just getting all the feedback. It's on a rotation now. That's fine. Is there any way to turn that volume? Because we're just getting all the feedback. It's on a rotation now. That's fine. Is there any? Okay, so what you're going to have to do, I believe, everybody who's done this says you have to close out. Okay, it sounds good.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah, that sounds great. Are you still there?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Excellent. I don't hear me talking back to me. And let me get this chart going. Are you still with me?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Okay. Excellent. I just never know what's going on with the technology. Sometimes you really just never know. All right. So we're looking for Bubba.
Yes, that's
All
correct.
right. And let me get this on the screen. How did you figure out which one was the vertical and which one was the horizontal? I know it's confusing for people.
We have two different. What we're using a mobile because I'm sharing with her a mobile and she's got a tablet.
Okay, great. So then being on the tablet, does it only give you the horizontal option or something like that? Is that how that works?
No, you have two chats.
Okay.
So I go to one and to other one and I pick the one that
Gotcha.
is horizontal.
You bounce back and forth. You sample each one is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't say which one is which I think is
Exactly.
ridiculous. Man.
Yeah.
So I tried to check it out earlier just so I could try to help people. Anyhow, I just thought I'd ask again. All right, let's get this chart. I've got Bubba's chart. Let me see if we can get this going on here. There it is. All right. There we go. Okay, so the question is, are there going to be, well, I'm not really positive, but I think it was kind of like a lot of extreme things were happening. Surprising, shocking kind of things were happening. And the question is, are they signs? Are they kind of like omens of, worse to come, or omens that are just, surrounding me right now at the moment? Doesn't necessarily mean something bad. Or is it a fluke? Did I get that kind of right? Uh-oh. I'm talking to myself. Hello? Uh-oh, hold on. Let me get why is this turning you off? Hello? Oh, can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves. Oh, they chose to mute themselves. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm talking to myself now. CG. Oh, CG. Oh, it's probably the internet. Let's get CG back in here.
She keeps touching stuff.
There we go.
Jesus.
We don't share technology.
I'm gonna, yeah. Well, but she
Okay.
kind of stay quiet.
Okay, no problem. Well, I don't know if you heard what I said. I wanted to make sure I had your question
You're
right.
correct. You're correct.
Okay. So let's take a look at the charts and let's see what we can see. And now this had to do with transportation, right? Some extreme things happened while they were driving.
Yes.
Okay. So we think Mercury's moving around the neighborhood type of thing, not necessarily in an airplane, right?
Yeah.
It's all local stuff. Is what you're saying. So we think third house, my local community. We can also look at some car energy, like Leo energy, fifth house stuff. But what I will say right off the top is Bubba has Uranus right there at the beginning of their third house cusp line.
Yes.
You see that?
Yep.
Uranus is the shocks and the surprise and sudden, right? Disruptions, but kind of like a lightning bolt out of nowhere. That's the Uranian energy. And it's technology, which we don't normally associate. I mean, it's technology, right? Plain and simple. But normally we think planes, trains, and automobiles, like mass transportation. But it's in his third house.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you look closely, because I'm not sure what the dates were on when these freaky past events occurred, but if
Mm-hmm.
you look at the Mercury up in the sky, which is interesting because Mercury rules the third house, right?
Okay.
Well, it does. So we're transportation, local transportation. We're looking at that. And so for today, well, that's the 6th. Okay, today's the 6th. I have this on December 2nd. And I'm not sure why. I didn't have a timeline. I don't know when these events occurred, but just to give us a little
One of them was
history.
December 4th,
Okay.
and the other one was mid-October. I don't know exactly when it was.
Okay. So nothing other than the December 4th one as most recent, because typically, well, we'll just start with this one because of the fact that the Mercury's at 22 degrees here. And it's in Scorpio energy, and that squares. That is a square to Aquarius energy. You
Yep.
see? So this Mercury is squaring not only that Uranus, but that third house cusp line of the local community, local transportation, going to and from, just the busy kind of transportation, right? Just whether I'm going to work or just in my,
Right.
back and forth running errands, whatever the heck it is. So that's where Mercury was on December 4th.
And he also has Uranus squaring Uranus in the transit also.
Well, sure. If you look over here, yep. But I for myself, it's always good to start off, at least for me, looking at the birth chart, right? And so his Uranus, because then that's what you did next. We'll go look at where Uranus
Got
is.
it. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. But Mercury for sure, because it's local transportation. You follow?
Got it.
Right. And then the Uranus is here. So Taurus energy, right. These are all the fixed energies, right? Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. And where's his Mars at? Since we're talking about all
Yes,
this energy,
Leo.
his Mars
Of
is at
course, it's all
20
squares.
degrees in Leo. You see that?
Yeah.
So right, and this is a Uranus that's going backwards. So it's going to stop at 27 degrees. It's not stopping at 28. It goes to 27. So the shocks and the surprises, yeah. So it's a big square. It's a big fixed square. And so because that Mercury was there, right, it really, well, it helped me to pinpoint the third house because Mercury rules that third house energy. So what we're doing now is looking at today, and now Mercury's going up in numbers. It's at 24. So it's still part of the square. It's still in an opposition to this Uranus up in the sky. So this week can also still be kind of like tricky. So to me, whenever I've had this happen in my chart, I always know I have to drive extra defensively. Like, I just have to assume everyone is out to, like, just end up in my path. Do you know what I'm saying? We have to just be extra cautious. That's
Good.
Okay. So
yeah.
this is this upcoming week?
Well,
Well,
because Mercury is still at 24, we're working with a lot of his own natal stuff. Like his
Right.
Mars and his Uranus are always in an opposition and they don't move. So this Uranus here is very slow. And so, yes, he will have a T square with his Mars. So this is stress and tension. This will be here for longer than this week. But this week, this Mercury is still over here. So if I move it to 1 week forward, so that you can kind of get a bird's eye view of it, we're going to go 1 week forward. Mercury's entered Saggy already. Okay. And so this means Mercury is no longer in the big square with Mars and Uranus in his chart. or with the Uranus up in the sky. I need some water. Hold on a second. Okay, so there would be extra caution that I would recommend for this week. Usually when we have T-squares, it is definitely uncomfortable. And whenever we mix Mars and Uranus energy together, whether it's a conjunction, an opposition, a square, we always have to be extra cautious and move even slower. That's imperative. Mars is usually fast and impatient, wants to be first, but Uranus energy and Aquarius energy is lightning bolt energy. So that mixture is usually, if something happens, it's because we were careless. We were moving too damn fast. You follow?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my recommendation. Like that's for
Okay.
this week.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Can I ask something? For example, like when the planets like these squares, but if you have, for example, Jupiter and Pluto, and they are in a sextile or in a trine, which one is stronger? Like
Out
because
of well, see, here's the thing. You do have to take everything into consideration, the whole chart. That's why astrology is such a pain in the ass. Because it's not okay, this is the strongest, so we're just gonna roll with that one. Well, the other ones still have a say. They still have a voice. They still have an effect. Now,
yeah,
sure, a lot of times they can like balance each other out, right? Like they can
got it.
have their say, and it doesn't mean it overpowers it necessarily, but it can kind of seem as though it just adds the counterbalance to the energy. So that's a real thing. But it would have to mean that these are like matching degrees. You
Yeah,
follow? And so his Pluto, it's at 2, and some would say, well, sure, it's at 2 degrees, so there's like an outside trine, but it's Pluto, so we only pay attention to the minutes because everything else is psychological, not material, physical, tangible, where it's showing up in my life until it matches those minutes.
yeah. I always put first like deep as Pluto and Saturn and Uranus, and the rest if Jupiter has a good, transit with another planets as Venus, I can figure it out more or less. It's gonna make it softer. But those planets, Pluto and Saturn, they are very strong.
They are. And then here's the other thing that's really important. Like, I like the idea of looking for Jupiter, seeing if it's beneficial.
Yeah,
Jupiter has to be that person's greater benefic in their natal chart. So we always have to go back to the natal chart
got
and
it.
see, is Jupiter their great benefic? And it is for him. For this chart, Jupiter is above the horizon line. So it is their greater benefic. So that's wonderful. And when we go to the Cancer energy, yes, Jupiter is in the 8th house
Yes.
and it's retrograding. I'm mentioning this because their vertex is at 24, so Jupiter already touched their vertex energy. And I'm mentioning that because the 8th house is deep transformations.
He's gonna have a conjunction soon. Jupiter and Jupiter.
Oh, well, that'll be in the future when Jupiter leaves the sign of Cancer and goes into Leo. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not what we're talking
Summer.
about right here. So yeah, that will eventually happen though. Yeah. That happens in 2026 when
Mm.
Jupiter will actually leave Cancer energy and go into Leo.
Yeah.
So did you have another question pertaining to like for him?
Yeah, just I mean, he's been settling in and
Yeah,
just
that's
seeing if
good.
that he's settling in many different ways. Like,
That's
and
good.
this seems to be the one area that has been of concern. But just maybe from a medium to longer term, does it look like it's a big change from city life to rural
Well,
life?
it's a big change in his chart. I mean, he's got the nodes up here in Virgo and Pisces. It's mutable energy. And his nodes are immutable energy. So he has nodes squaring nodes. So this is change. I mean, it's what he's doing. His whole life has changed. It's what he's
Exactly.
doing. So it's a major, it's a major cycle of I have to be flexible because I have to be able to pivot and adjust. You've got flexible nodes, which means we're practicing flexibility and changing up and switching up our belief systems, specifically for him, his belief systems in partnerships and self. Because the nodes are going through his third and ninth house, the way he talks, thinks, communicates. The north node's also, in that same third house of transportation and local community and staying local, but traveling locally. And that's where you're mentioning this stuff. And so nature, it was kind of nature that interrupted, right? That kind of,
Correct.
Yes.
yeah, nature kind of bounced in or whatever it did.
Yep.
So,
Don't hurt the cows.
so the only other thing I can kind of glean from this, in addition to, is the north node is also conjunct his Salacia. And wherever we see Salacia, that also has like a Neptune effect. It's like a feminine Neptune energy, which means it can make things kind of look a little confusing, possibly. Not as crystal clear as we want them to be. Okay. She's like this divine goddess of the deep waters and the oceans type of energy. So it's deep and it's dark under there. And so having that here and having the nodes there, that can probably make things confusing. And it's a time of confusion and transition. And we don't know which way I'm going, where I'm, my foot's headed this way, my other foot's going that way, because there's a major transformation. I mean, it's when the nodes do that square thing, right? It's like you're in the process of change. Just roll with the changes. You have no choice.
Huh?
Yeah. And have faith. And that's kind of what the Pisces energy talks about in the third house, which is you kind of just, it's that belief type of energy of prayer and faith. And you just have to kind of be patient, but understand the cycle and the flow that you're in and go with it. And it sounds like that's exactly what he's doing. Something that I find promising is that even though his nodes are being squared, I want you to see this, and I'm going to click this off for you so you can see this real clearly. In his natal chart, even though the nodes, I just showed you the nodes at 13 degrees, right? They already got past. He has a Pluto and his south node at 14 degrees. To make this huge change, right? He is pulling upon soul knowledge, soul wisdom, soul energy. He's got, it's pretty damn strong here.
Yeah.
It's intense. It's strong. It's deep. It's like a wealth of information that it's not necessarily something. I probably shouldn't call it intellectual even, because these are knowings, they're just knowings. And so having this energy here in Sagittarius, it's focused, it is about self because it's his first house, but this is what enabled him to make this kind of a leap of a change. The exploring and the adventure, to go on this adventure. And that's what he's doing.
Yep.
That's what he's doing. So the difference now is the nodes aren't squaring that, because they're already at 13 and they're getting lower in numbers. You see, so they won't be squaring this any longer. And so what that means is when we have energy going through Sagittarius, which we will soon, like Mercury is going to leave Scorpio, it's going to get into Saggy. And even right now, when we click this back on the now sign, we've got the sun here. The sun was just on his south node and his Pluto. That's the other thing. Wherever the sun is, that becomes kind of like where the spotlight is.
Where's the sun? Sorry.
The sun is right there in his first house on his physical body, and it's still on his south node and his Pluto energy of that deep wealth of knowledge I spoke about, the soul energy. And it's about change, but it's a change about self, change about myself and my location and the beliefs about myself, including the appearance And the beliefs about, the courage, the confidence to take these leaps and to go on this adventure. Some say Sagittarius is like the astronaut.
Mm.
They will go where no man has gone before, literally off the damn planet type of energy. So when a person has this in their first house like that, they're physically, like their body, like they're gonna explore. They're gonna be that person. And he's in a time now where he has Mars trining his Mars. This this Mars up in the sky is at 23. So it's going to start trining his natal Mars. Okay. So a trine to the natal Mars can also kind of add to more activity, more strength, even a little bit less. It's almost like a fearlessness type of energy.
Mhm.
So the only thing with that is when we have some crazy Uranus stuff in the sky, we
Mhm.
want to be very cautious, actually.
Yeah.
We don't want to be in the fearless mode.
Yeah.
So overconfident
Mhm.
can be a thing here
Yeah.
with Mars trining Mars. So he's just in a cycle where he'll have to really force himself to slow down, because he's then telling the planets literally, I need to take a couple extra steps here. I need to have a
Mhm.
few minutes here. I need to count to 50. I'm going to do this at my own pace, damn it.
Mhm.
Because the Uranian energy, like that lightning bolt, can really make it feel like we have to do this now. And when we just gotta,
Yeah.
it's just a time that makes it an accident prone time. It just
Yeah.
is. It just is. So
Okay.
I wish I could say otherwise, but
No, I appreciate it. That's
yeah, I mean, just keep it real. I don't know if you're able to share that with
Yep.
and if they take it with a grain of salt, or if they think, okay, sure, yeah, mom, whatever. I don't know. But
Yeah.
and
Probably
that's
both.
tricky. But
Yep.
you can do, this is just where it's at in the cycle that you're in, or cycle
Mhm.
that he's in. And if he can go slow and
Mhm.
really take the time to think first, and to really think it through first, because of the Mars and Uranus, then it should be okay. It's a
Okay.
tricky time. That's for sure.
Okay, great. And what about thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
From a career perspective, like he started 3 months, he seems to be enjoying it. Things seem to be going well. Anything that you can see over the next 6 months
Um,
of the year?
he does have like his 10th house, he does have Libra, so we're going to have the only thing that I think that might be um is when Uranus starts backing into Gemini energy again. I'm sorry, when it goes forward and gets back into Gemini. For right now, this month and the following month, really, probably,
Yep.
it's probably going to feel like more stabilizing energy for him, because
Okay.
that's what we're all going to be feeling. Things are going to
Okay.
start to stabilize, because everything in Sag is going to end up going into Capricorn. And when
Mhm.
that happens, we start to feel a little bit more stable within all the earth stuff in our chart. However, for him, he has cardinal energy up there. So the Capricorn stuff will then square all the cardinal stuff. So it might be a work home life balance that is challenging, possibly,
Mhm.
because that's what Capricorn energy will do to his midheaven. The
Okay.
Libra energy of relationships, professional partnerships, there might be some challenges there, because as the planets go through Cappy, it'll start sending squares to his midheaven and down here to home, to his emotions and home and family, and to the moon, because the moon is there at 4 degrees, right? So once we get out of December and we're going into January, there will probably be some more stress and tension between the work and home life balance. And
Mm.
that could be including authority figures. That's a possibility, because
Mhm.
midheaven is an authority figure for sure. And then, of course, the moon, home and family, and of course, mom. So,
Mom doesn't have a very good chart either.
oh, you already looked at it, huh?
Yeah. Well, she has Pluto squaring her sun.
Yeah, well, that can, even though it's a Pluto square sun, whether it's a trine or a square, that can bring a
Square.
lot of power.
It can
That
what?
too. Yeah.
That brings a lot of intense power.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it brings a lot of intense power. These are folks who have, even after they've spent their battery, they somehow seem to have like a backup battery somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what that brings to those folks. So it just means we kind of have to be aware that a lot of other folks aren't going to have that kind of power and that kind of a backup battery type of thing
Mm-hmm.
that you have. And yeah, when it comes to, because it's like a soul power thing. It's not even an energy. Yeah, it's it's otherworldly type of power. So when you have that in terms of being the authority figure, especially if you're the parent, and the way in which we express, it might come across strong, might come across intense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you would just have to be aware of that. And it sounds like you already are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Most days.
yeah, exactly. And that's why the journaling, astro journaling, I always recommend to people, which is just nothing more than writing out those planets and where they're at that day. Obviously, Pluto doesn't move real fast, but depending upon what's going through Scorpio energy, because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio along with Mars, that would trigger the way we're communicating. So seeing like if the moon's in Scorpio, if Mercury's in Scorpio, Venus is in Scorpio, right?
Oh God.
Very intense energy.
Yeah.
So it just helps to navigate is all.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You
Thanks.
are welcome. You
Thank you.
are welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're good. You're welcome. Thank you for making it happen. I know that the technology can be complicated and I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No. I'm being sincere. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm saying thank you.
No,
Thank
I
you.
know. Yeah. Thank you, everybody,
All right.
for the
You have a
patience.
good night.
Have a good night.
Yes, you too. Bye-bye. There we go. Okay. CG and teamwork. Thank God. Teamwork helped make it happen. That's great. Okay. So we are moving along here. Yeah, a tricky time. And remember, the tricky time that I just described is a lot of that was in his chart natally already. And so he just has additional challenges, just so that everybody's aware. What I described for that chart isn't across the border for everybody, okay? Not to that intense level that he has it. All right, so I didn't even really say hello to anybody else, but Lou S is here. What's going on, Lou? Christie's here. Woohoo! We got everybody here. Nice to see you all. Magically Intuitive is here. Princess AK is here. What's going on? Stacy's here. Yes. Stacy said, okay, yeah. She's like, how do we do? Okay, yes. Ember Grudge. Hello. Sinister Days, what's going on? Fairy there. Woohoo. Yes, something has changed. You got it, Fairy there. Something has absolutely changed. Yeah, there's two different live streams. They're going simultaneously. It's the same thing. They're just giving you the option of a vertical format or horizontal. And I think I already addressed it earlier. So in case somebody else is just popping on, that way we understand. The horizontal format is the one that you want to watch if you want to see the chart, because we're a learning community here. Like that is the bread and butter of what we do. Seeing the chart is how we learn. So we have a list. Thank you, Stacy. Oh, you always do great. Thank you so much. So Stacy says, here's the list, and current list is yeah, that's what makes it hard. You got to get on the one with the horizontal format. I think that's going to have to be the best route. I actually went to the vertical one to tell people that if they want to be in the chat and on the live stream to get to the other one. So hopefully they've made that move. Unless they want to just chill, sit back and listen on the phone, you can do that too. All right. So yes, teamwork is done. Christy's passing. Okay, CG, are you coming on? It says you're number 2. I pass. CG will be the first. C's. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking teamwork. My brain. Got it. Okay. Christy's passing. Luis is passing. Stacy, you're up. It says Stacy, number 5. All right, so let me go check my email. Again, we're doing speed readings unless people have sent a channel gift, then we pull up your chart and I have to reserve the yeah. Okay, so let's see. All right, what am I looking at? Stacy, you want me to take a look at your chart? I think I put the oh, let me get rid of this damn thing over here. Okay. Let me see if I got your Eros up here, Stacy, because you're always asking me about Eros, and maybe I think I put it on the chart. I don't know. Did I get it on here? After the last week, I think I was like, why isn't the damn Eros up here? Because she's always asking me, and I'm like, where is it? And I know where it is. I believe it's in Aries, but it's not. Wait a minute. Where's the Aries energy? Okay, it's not showing on here. All right, so where's Stacy? Does she? Stacy, are you coming on? I want to know what love looks like between. Okay, thank you. There's your question. Let me get your chart up here. I can do that. And let me get your Eros on here because yeah, everyone's on their love kick. Let me find this Eros for you. I don't know why the hell it's not showing up here. This is really annoying. Let me get this minor. I believe it's an E, right? Yep, there it is. All right, we got it. We got it. Now, when you ask me about it, I can say, there it is. It's in Aries at 25 degrees, and it is not especially fast moving either. So let's get Stacy up here, and she gave me a December thing. Let's get her chart on here real quick. So if anybody hasn't been here before, and if you want your chart looked at, you got to get your birth digits to me, birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. The Gmail account is right below this live stream. You can send your digits to me privately. If you want more than a quick look, send it with the channel gift. And then if you want your chart looked at, you got to be in the chat. I got to see you in the chat because that's the cue. Now, as another option, we do a private live. Ooh, just so y'all know, the December private live is full. There is no availability for the December private live, so you'll have to wait for the January private live. It's the same thing, but we do it privately. It's a very small group. Seats are limited. I keep it very small. And you would have to set that up in advance. So you send me an email and I give you more details and we go from there. Okay. All right, Stacy, I got you. Let me get this chart on the screen. Okay. Let's get this up here. So basically, December 23rd till the day after New Year's. Okie dokie. So here we are. I really need to see your Eros too. Where is your Eros located? Just so that where the hell is your Eros, Stacy? She's like, I know where it is. There it is. Yeah. Okay. 24 in Sag. Oh, I'm sorry, Leo. All right. So she has a trine going on, and it's pretty strong because Mars is part of the grand trine. Stacy's got a grand fire trine with Mars. Her Eros at 24 there. This Mars is at 23. And then this Eros is over here. So Stacy was in a Eros trining Eros, but it's a grand fire trine and it's in her 5th house where she has Eris and Chiron and Eros. Holy shit, the 5th house, mating, dating, relating. Yeah, absolutely. You also have Hercules at 25 degrees. Eros is on your Hercules. Okay, wow. Interesting. All right, so let's move forward now that we know that information. And let's get to... All right, so we're going to look at this timeline here. Mars is now in Capricorn. It's in the second house. It's a little bit more serious minded. It's not about adventure and seeking new experiences. When Mars enters Capricorn, it's more grounded, it's more long term thinking. So, that within itself right there will let you know how serious or not someone is, because it won't be just Mars. Then the sun's going to enter, and this is all right before the holiday. Like December 20th, Mars is already in Cappy, right? And then the sun follows on the 21st. Capricorn season begins. So things become very serious. And yes, it is in your second house, and that is love and desire. So that can be a thing. But because Mars is a little bit more mature here, we can find out if that energy matches up for who you're having your romance with. This Eros is now at 27, and it's no longer touching on your Eros anymore. However, you still have Venus and Mercury that are still dinging. They're still creating this trine with your natal Eros. All right. So this energy, Venus is actually no longer trining by December 22nd. Venus is now at 28 degrees for you. So what does all that mean so far? It means that the ease of, the whole magnetic, alluring desire type of energy, some of the shiny may wear off. And, maybe you've already experienced some of that, but some of the shiny may wear off. All right. And then the Venus and Juno are actually connected and together here in Sagittarius. Like they're together. So the question is, how do you handle it? How do you navigate this going forward? Jupiter is going to, all right, it's talking to Mercury. Let me move forward a little bit here, because you're still kind of in that energy. Eros is still in fire. It's still sitting in your fifth house. And now Venus and the sun, and then eventually Mercury are going to all move into the second house of love and desires, and how I receive and understanding my love language. It all becomes very serious. It's not so much an adventure. It becomes more realistic. So this may be, I don't want to say a wake-up call, but reality may set in. You follow? Whatever that reality is. It doesn't mean that it just things get serious here. So when I say serious, because it's Saturn, again, if that person isn't the serious kind, you will probably find out around this time. And this is December 26th. So it's not just like that day. I don't want you to think that. I'm not pinpointing it to a day. I'm pinpointing it to the pattern, which is energy is changing. We're going from Saggy to all of this Capricorn stuff. Now, with that said, when you have all this energy in your second house, this is boss energy. So maybe the other person, what you desire, right? Uh, Maybe they appear to be a little bit more on the bossy side. Maybe they have come across now as a little bit more serious and more grown up. Maybe you are coming across, because this is about your desires. And when we mix desire energy, it can it can override our sensibilities. But I love Venus in Capricorn. She's smart. She's not about frivolous desires. She's definitely more about the long haul. So with all that said, here we are, December 29th, Mercury's at 25 degrees. This should be another little indicator as to, what's going to happen next. Mercury's kind of like at that 25 at a kickoff stage, and it's no long it's gone past your Eros. Your Eros was at 24 and this Mercury's at 25 now. So as Mercury moves along the communication and the talking, which I believe is what you said you're doing, the long distance stuff. The December 30th, December 31st, you've got Mercury going to 28 degrees, 29 degrees. And so that's big for communication. And all the planets are sitting in your second house of desires. So to me, you might start talking very serious. That person might start talking very serious. And when I say very serious, they might start talking about how do we make this a real thing? How do we make this, not a long distance thing? So there might be conversations about the future. That might be part of it. Again, just remember some of the other things that I already mentioned. I do know that through your 10th house, which is important if we're talking about relationships and long term, through your 10th house, we have Fortuna going through the 10th house. And for women hooking up or getting into a relationship with a male, the 10th house is usually long term commitment energy, right? But just remember, Fortuna is going through that energy. So, how will this look for you overall? Well, yeah, it went from adventure and fun to very serious. That's it. That's the tone. That's what changes. Uh, you know, Eros has now gone into Taurus by this time. And having Eros in Taurus, Eros and Mercury are trining actually. And Juno's there too. So this is actually January 2nd. It's Juno and Mercury together making a long-term plan. Like, let's build for the future. Let's work on something together. And Eros being a part of it. So I can't wait to see what this looks like for you. I've never really paid attention to Eros like over a long period of time. So I'm not sure how, like if it does its retrogrades and how slow it is, but this could be kind of interesting for you because then the nodes, as they're getting lower in number in Virgo, would kind of strengthen this energy that we all have in Earth. A lot of the Earth energy. And, you have your part of fortune at the 2-degree mark there. So this is interesting. Sometimes people can, say things. And there might be, like I said, either very serious talk about the future or in a future together, or very serious talk about a future where we're not together. It's kind of looks like one of those things. That's how it looks. Just me taking a quick look. Yeah, we shall see. Wow. We shall see. That's things looking serious there for you, amiga. And with the nodes going through your 9th house, who knows? I mean, 9th house is travel, who knows? And it's definitely my focus on the future, 9th house, and the beliefs about my future. So, yes, just keep it like that. We'll see one day at a time. Okay. Question. Who the hell's next? Is, yeah, let me find this here real quick. I should just go on my phone and see if I can see it there. I see you, Fairy, there, and I think Magically Intuitive was next, but I don't see that. What did I do with that list that she had made up for me, which was very nice? Oh, let's see here. Sinister Days. Hello, Sinister Days. How are you, Abatha? How's it going, Abatha? Hope all is well. Hanging in there, I hope. Okay, so yeah, Magically Intuitive is next, then Princess, then Ember, Grudge, then Sinister Days. Okay, you guys got that? That's the order. No, you did great. So that means is Magically Intuitive here? Magically Intuitive, are you here? Going once, going twice. I've got people waiting, so I can't really hang out long. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. I also have somebody else who's paid, and I don't see them here in the chat unless they came in under a different name. But that's okay. You know, people can stop in when they want, and they realize they'll have to wait if they. Magically's here. Okay, Magically Intuitive. What am I checking out? Let me get your chart while you're. Let me go to the M's. Oh, the M's. The dreaded M's. There's so many of them. It takes me like 15 minutes to scroll through the damn thing. Yeah, that's an exaggeration, but it feels like it's forever. Oh, I found it. And I found Magically Intuitive just that fast. That's wonderful news. I think I got to slam a handful of nuts in my mouth. Yep, that's what I said. I normally have to have a cup of broth before I begin. And, I have to have a little something. Just a little something to. And I realized I didn't do that. And then yeah. What are you snacking on tonight? Pepitas. Pumpkin seeds. Okay. Did Magically say what I'm looking at? Ooh, somebody's got pizza. Abatha said she's in the other chat. Oh, Ember. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Your bonfire. Yes, you did pay. Okay, great. I didn't recognize the name. I'm sorry, you probably told me, and I was multi-frickin' tasking. Between phone calls, reading charts, looking at my mom's camera. Unfortunately, it seems like reading my emails before the live stream is the last thing I get to do. And I'm like, oh my God. It's not always like that, though. But, it's that whole saying, right? When it rains, it pours. This shit's so true for me. I go through times where it's like, you can hear grasshoppers. And it's freaking December and there's a foot of snow on the ground, right? All right, Magically. So, let me see what's going on here. All right. Okay. So, this Jupiter's jumping out at me. And this Jupiter is retrograding. And it goes back to 15. Okay, so that's why it's jumping out. It's going to be touching all this stuff. Now, it's not going to touch it all right away. You got something at 23, though. Okay, let me double check this. 25. Yeah, because your beliefs, spirituality, deeper knowledge, wisdom, maybe studying some religions, but maybe publishing, but learning and curiosity and writing should be a big deal for you right now with Jupiter. Sound, music, movies, just for right now at that 24 degrees. But see, Jupiter is going to touch your Characlo, and then it's going to touch your Vesta. So the third house, how you think, talk, and communicate, and what you're learning about. So you're kind of like in a mixed bag of, you've got one foot in the past, literally, part of your brain is in the past, but another one wants to know about the future for sure. So with that, That's tricky. And look at you got Mercury on your descendant. Okay, your descendant's at 18, Mercury's at 24. You got Nessus right there at 24. All right. So what's going to happen then over the next week for you is this Mercury in partnerships again, because it's in water. So we got Mercury trining Jupiter tonight, right now, right? So curiosity is going to be big. And, Mercury's the freaking super detective in Scorpio. So it's investigating, it's into the occult and the mysterious and whatnot. On your Nessus is kind of like somebody who's kind of like an enemy. I mean, that's a strong word, enemy, I know, but somebody who's out for revenge, I mean, that's really strong too. So maybe there was a communication, and it could have been something. I mean, it is in your seventh house of open enemies, but Mercury moves fast. Okay. So I don't know if y'all can hear my freaking housemates yelling and shit. Not like yelling at each other, but just being loud. Mercury moves fast, but it will stay in your seventh house all the way until next week and even beyond next week. But it's going to start triggering some things, and then it'll eventually trigger your Pluto. So when it gets there, it's relationships that are very important to you, communications with those individuals, whether it's a partnership like a love interest or a business partnership, but people you're really close to. You'll have conversations that are deep, not frivolous at all, deep communications. And because Jupiter is in the house of communication and it's going to be at 23, this is me moving it ahead to next week. At 23 degrees, there can be shocking information, there can be surprises. And it will be what you're thinking, what you're sharing, but also what you're learning. Okay. So that Mercury with the Pluto for you adds an intensity to it. Now, if you're in a deep committed relationship type of thing, or even a relationship, somebody that you would compromise for, or that you consider a partnership in some way, that would all be part of this. Deep communications, deep conversations. The past may be part of it. Like Jupiter gives us confidence. Okay. So maybe there's some stuff that needs to be discussed, things that happened in the past, maybe old wounds from the past, right? But it's definitely in committed or deeply powerful relationships, partnerships. And Pluto will be sitting at the 2-degree thing. So Venus energy, desire energy, seventh house energy, even because of Venus. Yeah, revelations possibly even too, because I see what you're going to have coming up is you're going to have Pluto trining your sun. Not right now, not next week, but that's what will be coming for you. And so what happens is when we communicate the sun, when we express, when people like see and hear us, there can be powerful words, but they're deeply meaningful, very purposeful too. But the goal, especially with the seventh house stuff, is a healing of some sort. So hopefully a good time where you're clearing the air and things that didn't get discussed will hopefully be discussed. I would also just be aware at this time that it will be Mercury in opposition to the Uranus up in the sky. So this reinforces surprises and shocking communications, shocking information even. All right. And so to be a little bit more specific for you, and so yeah, you're looking December 8th, December 9th, December 10th. Okay. So it would probably be a good time to just expect the unexpected kind of thing in conversations and communications, in partnerships, significant one-on-one relationships. Okay, so was let me see here. Let's back this. Let me see if I can find out. Yeah. Yeah, so you know what? That makes sense, Christy, and, it should definitely be on, on the horizontal one, because people who wanna have their chart looked at, people who are here to learn, people who wanna be engaged, I think the horizontal format makes sense. I think other people, when they go to the other one, they just probably might not be aware that there's 2 chats going, that there's 2 live streams going, and, yeah. The other one, like I said, the vertical is just for people who wanna listen, see if they're interested, and maybe that way they have the option to come back another time and then get in on the queue and literally look at a chart and blah, blah, blah. Maybe y'all already discussed it. So I'm just trying to find out. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to find the chat again. Not the chat, but the list. I'm trying to see if there was an adjustment made at all. Okay, I'm reading food. I'm reading food all over the damn chart. Let's see. Yep, I'm scrolling, 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 and I don't know what the hell I did with that list that she had. Oh, well, isn't that some stuff? All right, well, yeah, I just wanted to double check, but I think you're right. I think Princess is next. Um, where is Princess here? And then let me go find a chart that says Princess on it. Um, Princess, what are we looking at? Before I even find your chart, what are we looking at? That way I can get this on here real quick. And see what I can see. Is Princess here? Oh, Princess may not be here. Princess may have left. Going once. Yeah, I don't see Princess is here any longer. Princess may have bailed. And I don't think Princess is Princess. I think Princess has, as usual, I think is a different person, right? Right? Is Princess here? Okay, going once, going twice. Yeah. If I spend 10 minutes looking for a chart and the person's not here, like, yeah. All right, who's after Princess? Is it all righty? Okay, so we're going to go with Ember Grudge because I don't. Yep. All right, Ember Grudge, you're up. So this is. Oh, Ember Grudge, let me get you the link because you paid. And you don't have to take this link, but that's if you want it. for people who send money to the channel. Yeah. All right. So there's that link for you, Ember Grudge. It is your turn. And this is Bonfire. Let's get that on here. Alrighty, I know I got you here somewhere. There it is. Okay. There we go. Shazam. We got it. Alrighty. Oh, wow. The volume's up on that one, huh, Ember? Let me turn that down a little bit and let me get Bonfire. Oh, all right, Bonfire. It says to try again. She popped in. I heard it. And then it said device was not connected or something. So you just got to try it one more time. Stuffed spinach garlic pizza followed by thin crust. Wow, that's a pizza night for sure. Okay, Bonfire, let's see what you've been going through. You've been going through some, holy shit, man. Some wild ass stuff. Oh, I'm so Bonfire. It's saying device not connected. It might be the internet on your end. For the live stream, like the bandwidth told that whole damn thing. Because she keeps popping in, but it keeps popping her out. Well, it doesn't pop her out. It just says device not connected, even though her name is there. So maybe she's working on it. Maybe there's some connections she's making. But we will take a look at this chart. Let me get to the chart now so I can focus on this. All right. So Ember's had Ember. This is Bonfire. Bonfire has had some. Just go without me talking. Okay, so she's had extremely extreme stuff happening, and I believe. Can I give just like a quick summary of what you already shared with me, just so they understand what we're kind of focused on? We're focused on health. We're focused on career. Yeah, almost died. Almost died. Some very extreme stuff happened. Very extreme stuff. So that's, yeah, she said it's being a brat. It won't let her in. Okay. Oh, you know what? It says, it's telling me that you will need to connect your microphone and camera before I can add you to the stream. Oh, so in other words, your security won't allow StreamYard to connect to your microphone and your camera. And that's why. Wow, that's helpful, right? But yeah, I'm only just telling you what they're saying. You can do however you want to do it. Okay. And I understand about the security. I know that's your thing. And that's fine. So yeah, she had some extremely, I read the email and I'm just like, holy shit. What do you say? I just don't even know what to say, but yeah, just super intense shit. So, is there a question there? I think the question is, other than I'm happy to be alive, so what might be happening next? Yeah. Wow. Okay, so what's happening next? Let's take a look. Let me get to today. Where are we? Yeah, we're on today. Okay. Let's see what's going on that's so extreme. Right, career, work, you think that they're trying to get. Okay. So to that end, at least with the career and the work, your sixth house energy, what I do see here in the sixth house is your midheaven is at 8 degrees and the nodes are going to go down in numbers, right? So the node will trine your 10th house cusp line, the node, the past, and it can be a release type of energy. But the thing is that it also involves your natal Saturn. Yeah. So the timeline on that, let's see what that is going to look like for you if I move ahead there and get to that piece of it anyway for you. It's going to take a little bit of time for the node to get there. We're in the new year, and the node is at 10. So it's very serious energy. And it's aspecting your midheaven. And of course, all the planets are going through Capricorn at that time. Now, let me see if you have anything to kind of support this. All right. Well, I look over into the Earth, and you have Chiron at the same degrees as your midheaven. Chiron is at 8. And the Chiron at 8 is in Taurus for you. So this means that the South Node is going to trine that Chiron. So at that time, it's a grand Earth trine. All right. And Taurus is my money and my values, for sure. Midheaven is my career. Typically, it's a combination that can indicate like an unwelcoming event, right? But it can kind of be beneficial for you. It just might be kind of like something uncomfortable, but yet can possibly be beneficial, especially since you have the Sun and Mars and Venus all going through your 10th house, and even Mercury is at 3 degrees in Capricorn at this time. So the South Node can represent kind of like our superpower energy. And this might, Saturn's like boss energy. Yes, Saturn can bring restrictions. And you do have a retrograding Saturn. So this energy for the beginning of January, triggering your Chiron, that brings it a concern. Because it's a wound about my income, my money, my value, my desires. So I like that you have it trining and that you have recognition, you have the Sun in your 10th house, but it's the Chiron piece of it that might make things a little bit complicated. Hopefully it's you knowing your value and your self-worth, because ultimately anybody who has Chiron in Taurus, that's a big piece of it for everybody with a Chiron and a Taurus is self-worth. How much, am I worthy? That whole thing. And overall, though, I like that you have so much Earth in your chart, because you're going to have some very stabilizing energy, which I think you need, just from what you've described. But when, it's just that Saturn energy, Capricorn energy is very serious energy. Things can even feel heavy because it's just so serious. So there is a moving on type of energy. And if we're moving on because we got the South Node, that might be part of that uncomfortable stuff that I spoke of and that you kind of actually mentioned in the email. And so maybe you do start looking for something that you feel better aligns with you. And the thing is that if you do this at this time, normally whenever we include our Saturn, which your Saturn will be part of this, anytime we include Saturn in a decision-making process, it's usually going to be because it's something that's a long-term thing, something that's going to stick around for a long time for us. So this kind of has that feeling of I'm releasing and letting something go, but gaining something. So let me go check out some other stuff here. Okay, you already got past, your nodes were at 16. Okay, so we already got past that. Nodes are going down. Oh, you have 0 degree on your 6th house and your 12th house cusp lines. Okay. Well, that would kind of be big, but that won't be a thing. That's like June. Well, that will be a thing for you. In the meantime, let me see if I can see anything else as far as, let me move ahead a little bit here and see where the node, I wanted to see this Jupiter for you, this 15 degree, even though I think, isn't Venus I haven't looked at your chart in a little bit. Let me see here. Yeah, here I am right now, like, okay, yeah, you got a 0 degrees Jupiter. Okay. Yeah, so you have 4 houses that are at 0. That explains a lot. And the Jupiter thing, the romance, 5th house cusp line, Jupiter at 0, somebody who is foreign. Okay. Well, here's where this is tricky. Jupiter is not your great benefic. I think you even alluded to something like that without saying those words about crazy whatevers, right? This Jupiter energy down below like this at the 0 degrees, so a romantic other, someone you would have fun with or whatever, because it's at 0, it's extreme. The Venus energy, that's your greater benefic. And that is in your 12th house, so foreigners, foreign lands, foreign languages, subconscious energy, even soul history, soul memory, past life, whatever you want to call that other realm. Let me see where the Venus in the sky is. Okay, she's going to be at 0. This is a week away. Oh, no, this is January 17th, a week further on. This is going to get at 19, and that matters because you have Uranus here at 19. So this is January, but I would back this up. And yeah, the 19 degrees, let's go to the end of December even. 21 degrees. We're going to go maybe even 22 because Pandora, you got at 20. That's what we're going to do. That's where the trigger is going to be. Let me see. 27 here. Yeah, you have Sirius at 22. So you mentioned stalker energy. I'll share that with people without going into too much detail. You mentioned stalker energy. Jupiter up in the sky, it's going to be conjunct your Pandora's box, opening a freaking can of worms. She has the can of worms going through her 7th house, which means it was touching her Pluto. So there's some shit about the past. And at the same time, that Jupiter that will be, I know the chart looks different right now. That Jupiter will, at this 23, triggering Pandora, triggers this Uranus energy, which is in your 7th house. So I would say this is the time you were questioning. This is the sudden, the fast, the surprise, the disruptive. It's in Scorpio, which can be possessive and obsessive and have attachments. So when we think stalker, right? Yeah, it can definitely go that route with Uranus there. You know, authoritarian type of I'm the boss of you, I can do what I want type of shit. So this would be the end. I'm actually at December 13th because I pulled Jupiter back just enough to where it starts triggering to give you, a good heads up and a timeline. It will help once Venus gets the hell out of your 8th house too. And she will do that same week. She'll eventually pull out of your 8th house. So that's December 13th. Venus will then pull out of there, which will be good because the sun has already moved. Venus will get the hell out of your 8th. But it's Yeah, 19 degrees. So it's now in your 9th house. And then Venus touches your Neptune. Interesting. This can be interesting. Let me see what this 19 degrees does for you. It was trining there. Okay, it'll be trining your moon. No, I mean sextiling it. Mars is okay over there. South node is there at 12. Uranus is in your 2nd house of new, making new money possibly eventually, but can be new love, can be surprises. So, yeah. Thank God Uranus will not be going back to 19 degrees for you. It stops at 27. So, I feel like when things move out of your 7th house and get the hell out of your 8th house, it'll be better. However, Mercury will still be in your 8th house at this time. And it will be trining all your Aries energy in the 12th of mystery, foreigner, foreign land, foreign language. Yep. And the Jupiter stuff. So this is a tricky time because it's going to take Mercury, not forever, but a little bit of time. I don't know when all this craziness began, if it was during the Mercury retrograde or like when it first got into its shadow zone, but you'll even have Mercury trining Mars. I'll just tell you this. Mercury is going to enter your 9th house. Well, look at that. Christmas Eve, Mercury enters your 9th house. I think getting things out of your 8th house will help because it's more that Pluto Scorpio kind of stuff. And at this time, this Jupiter, just so we're being realistic, this Jupiter is still sitting here at 22. So it's still aspecting your Uranus. Remember, Jupiter is going to go back all the way to 15 degrees. It just seems like that seems crazy that it goes that far back, but it does. And let me double check that. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I have too many things memorized and I get them mixed up. There's just too, yeah, it goes back to 15. Okay, great. So with that said, the reason it's going to go back to 15 is it'll go back and it'll trine your south node. You see that? So that is further out. It's going to take a little bit of time. I would say once January, like third week of January, this Jupiter is moving beyond your Uranus. But until then, it's connecting to your Uranus, which is that crazy stalker, whatever energy I believe that you've been talking about. Okay. So that's not until like the third week of January. And then once we get there, the Jupiter's at 18. And hopefully, yeah, it'll start to trine. It's starting to trine your south node. And that's your natal south node, and the nodes up in the sky are at 9 degrees then, and that is more Jupiter energy. So I'm just trying to see what else I can pull off of this to see. Here's the other thing I'll have to add for you though is in your 11th house you'll have all the Uranus energies activated. Because we have all the planets that were in Cappy now going through, I said Uranus, all the Aquarian energy. You follow? And that's different, exciting, new, but it's about freedom and independence and breaking away. So whoever that stalker is or was, they may have kind of like I need something new and different and exciting. They could have that. It's hard to talk about somebody and understanding their psyche and all that when I'm not staring at their chart, to be honest with you. So I don't really want to go much deeper into that, but you now definitely have everything out of your 8th. Nothing's in Scorpio other than your natal stuff. And once this Jupiter has passed, which it has, your Uranus, that should make a difference. And it's training your south node of release. And we have the breakout, break free, be independent, very strong energy um, in Aquarius. So I know I didn't touch on health. Sixth house is your health. Your first house is your physical body. The Mars going through Aquarius, because Mars is our body, but Mars is not your great malefic. Saturn is. And what's tricky for you is that it's in the house of health. And that is your great malefic. And it is a Saturn retrograding. So when your malefic Saturn gets triggered by the South Node, which it will here, South Node's at 9. This is still the third week in January, right? This energy can possibly give you an opportunity, to really officially be gone from that job if that's what you were doing, to let go of certain duties and responsibilities, especially if they're interfering with your health. It might even be certain health routines that you're taking part in that you realize this is probably not the best for me. I need to not be doing this, because you will have the South Node training your midheaven. And you know what? Let me do this real quick. So it talks about change. I'm just going to click on this and read this really quick for you. So you may be asked to let go of something or someone, and so you can move forward on your life journey. The more that you can accept change, the more that you are likely to lighten up your own load. So authority figures may urge you to make changes, or you may recognize the need for change and move on yourself. Sounds like something you're kind of already aware of, because that's what you already talked about. So you're going to have the energy of change very strongly supported. Okay. So just think of it as one link at a time, one step at a time, and search out your options. And with all this energy screaming new, that will be helpful. Networking will be huge because it's in your 11th house of group energy and networking. That will be big, and that will be to your benefit because you've got air in the second and the third, and in the sixth and the seventh. So networking and looking for other options. And I think you said you were already starting on that. But again, that was me talking about the job again. In terms of your health, again, same thing, releasing some old routines. Let me go find, because I think we're going to have Saturn sitting at, I think, is it 27 at this time already? Yeah, it is. Saturn's already at 27 at this time, up in the sky, Saturn in Pisces. And this Saturn is, and this time, like January 24th, this Saturn is on your Venus. It's on your Venus. What I love about this, I'm hoping that if you started already looking for a new job, I'm hoping this is a connection to that for you, even though Saturn is your malefic. So you have a really complicated chart. But Venus is your great benefic, you see? So there is an opportunity. There is an opportunity because the Saturn is what we're building for the long term and stability. And it can represent new work when it touches on your natal Venus. And the Uranus in the sky and Saturn are also communicating and talking. And of course, it's Uranus, so it is tech. And I know that is your field. So I would go with the flow, go with the changes and the things that you're pretty much already aware of. And as far as as far as the health thing, man, I hope it improves for you. Having that Saturn and presenting restrictions, but then shocking and surprising things that kind of, I don't know, and I don't need to know, your history in terms of that, but from what I read, it almost sounded like the shit just came up out of nowhere. Like it was a shock and a surprise. And Aquarius energy is shocking and surprising energy. It is. And so it kind of makes this a tricky thing because we never know really what to expect. You have your North Node in your Virgo energy. Yeah, the day-to-day routines are a big deal. And that's the North Node is like your soul's mission. And when we have that North Node in the Virgo, and it's not North Node in Pisces, yours is a North Node of, I know that you pay attention to the details already. Like, that's just how you function. Um, oh, they're watching football. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I've just never heard them so loud. Okay, 16. Maybe football's not on. I have no idea. Okay, you have a Taurus sun at 0 degrees. Oh, even your sun is at 0 degrees. Okay. Yeah, this Pluto in Libra, because you mentioned something with the kidneys. Let me go back up. Let me see right now where this is at for you really quickly. 16. Okay. So Pandora's box. Huh. Look at that. Pandora's box. Close to your Pluto right now. No wonder you feel like the creeper is going to be creeping back around on you. The can of worms. I'm just trying to figure out what triggered all this for you. Unless this was something, an existing condition that you already knew about. Okay. That was a complete shock and surprise. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I was just like, holy shit, a complete shock and surprise to just suddenly be there. Yeah, really weird. Except Uranus is that shock and surprise energy. And what's interesting is like Libra energy, some of the teachings say that anything that has like a partner in the physical body, that Libra is part of that it rules that. And so we all, we think kidneys, right? You have Pluto and Uranus in the 7th house. So yes, it is partnerships, but the Pluto's in the Libra energy. And you have your vertex in Libra in your 6th house of health at 6 degrees, at a health degree. And it's the vertex. So it's like shit just all of a sudden, like there's an event. It's just kind of one door opens, another one closes. There's this thing happened. And yeah, it just kind of like the game changed. The rules all of a sudden flipped, and that's with health events and partnerships. And she's probably thinking that's the story of my life. But yeah, you have a lot at 12 and 14 and 17 in Aquarius up here. And that matters because they trine your Pluto, and Aquarius is the shock and surprise. And Pallas Athena's there. Thank God Pallas Athena was part of this for you. So okay, well, here's the other thing, because this was all just in the last couple of weeks. Where is... Okay, is nothing over there. Okay, nothing over there. Okay, I just wanted to check. Mars in the 9th house, even though it's not your great malefic, having Mars in Saggy and in the 9th house, because you just had Mars on top of your natal Neptune, right? Hospital. Neptune, you have a retrograding Neptune. So that Mars, because it's still our body, whether it's our malefic or not, Mars is our body. And it's Jupiter energy. So it kind of takes something that was already there and it really goes, whoosh. It makes it a much bigger deal. Yeah. Mars up in the sky touching on your Neptune. But to me, yeah, I'm like, there should be more things here. Like, what the hell? From what you described, I would expect a lot more little things to click. Yeah, that's horrible. That's man. Yeah, and the other thing too is you have a moon in that group energy stuff. Well, it's just fascinating because, when we're in a hospital for that long, because that's a long time considering how hospitals like to kick people out, right? The moon is our home, right? Our home, our family, and it's Aquarius is that group energy. I mean, sure, tech and all that stuff too, but the moon being close to Pallas Athena and Pallas Athena being on top of, and I took this back a week. I could even take it back another week. Yeah. See, Pallas Athena was on top of your Salacia. And so Pallas Athena is the strategist, the one who's using the technology to get the big picture. But Salacia is the confusion. It's the confusion. I guess what I'm saying is it makes sense in my mind, especially with Pandora. Pandora was part of this recipe here, by the way. Pandora was right here at 10 degrees. It was also part of this freaking recipe. Good God. Your Pandora is kind of wicked, lady. Oh, it's at 20 degrees. That's the Scorpio degree. Oh, yeah. It's intense. It's powerful. And then that takes us back to the Pluto again in Libra. Wow. There's a lot of different connections. There's a lot of little things that add up. Yeah. Living in a hospital. That was your home for 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's that Aquarius energy. Man, it's sudden shocks and surprises, moon in Aquarius. That can't be easy because Mars is, Uranus, right? It squares that. A moon in Aquarius and then Uranus in Scorpio. I mean, that square alone. Yeah, that's, yeah, I think I'd have to be constantly medicated if I had a chart like that. I'm just saying. That foreign guy's Pandora was a mess with mine. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. All right, so does this help then? Does this give you a good enough short term, couple months out kind of a look at it? And then, yeah, we can look at it again. I'm hoping for you that once some things move, that you at least have a little bit of a respite period. But I'm concerned about when everything goes in January. Halfway through that month, when everything goes into Aquarius. That's concerning for me because when it goes into Aquarius, it will eventually start squaring your Uranus again. You know what I mean? And maybe that'll just mean it's crazy dude, right? Stalker and all that shit too. But man, you have a lot going on all the time. When it's going on, it's going on. It is no joke for you. It is. It's crazy. And that's the connecting factor. That's why Mars kept coming up. I'm just seeing it now. Your natal Mars in your chart is at 11 degrees. Shocks and surprise. That's the Uranus Aquarius degree. So what that means is that Mars up there, yeah, in the Saggy energy, yeah, you can have shocking events with your physical body. Absolutely. Okay. There we go. Man. Yeah, and just try to prepare yourself, not to cause, yeah, don't want to give you like over the top anxiety over the events, but you know, as long as you're getting the medical attention, not that that's always the best, but maybe seek some other stuff too. If you have the insurance and if it can pay, if you can find, I don't know, because it just sounds like your experience wasn't really positive. Like they didn't have either, yeah, like they didn't have a heads up and they should have type of thing. Like, if you're not somebody who had any kidney problem going into it and then all of a sudden you're in renal failure, holy shit. That sounds really serious to me. All right. All right. Who is after? Who was after bonfire? Let me check the chat. What time is it? Okay, we're doing pretty good. It's 10:38. Oh, I have no idea who's after bonfire. I am sick of mashed potatoes. Okay. Oh, Christy, that's all you can eat? Oh, God. Soft things. Girl, make yourself a smoothie. Screw them mashed potatoes. I almost ate a piece of cedar. That wouldn't have been good, huh? Sinister Days, you're next. Sinister Days was up after. And I know a lot of people jumped in since then. So y'all going to have to help me out because I really don't know. All right, Sinister Days, are you here? Sinister Days. I haven't seen that chart in a long time. Is Sinister Days here? Going once, going twice. If you leave, I understand it gets boring if it's not your chart and you don't want to learn. I get it. People leave. That's okay. But I'm only asking 3 times if you're here. And if you're not, I'm going to the next person. Like, I can't make other people wait because somebody else got bored. Make sense? Oh, Sinister Days said I'm here. Excellent. Good job, Sinister Days. You're on the ball. Very good. Anything that stands out. Okay, let me get the chart going here. Let's get the Sinister Days. We're going to get your astrology chart up here on the screen. And let's take a look and see what we can see. Yeah, I feel like it's been a little bit of time. Ooh, Sinister Days has a birthday coming up. The stuff's moving slow. Add to stage. All right, let's see what we're going to see here. Sinister Days. Okay, so today's December 6th. Man, I should have bought a rug in here. My feet are getting cold. I think we're supposed to get like 3 to 5 more inches of snow tonight. Oh, Sinister Days. Okay, so see how the charts are all kind of similar in a way tonight? I mean, they're not identical, of course, but there's some similarities. Last chart had Aries in the 12th. This chart's got Aries in the 12th, some Cancer in the 3rd and 4th. Yeah, a little bit of Virgo in the 6th house, some Libra in the 6th. Libra and mostly Scorpio in the 7th. Anyway, so you've got Mercury sitting there in your 7th house, and it's going to touch on your Uranus, which is at 27 degrees. See the similarities? Okay, your Jupiter is also below, so Venus is your greater benefic. And there's Venus connected to Uranus for you. So communications, surprising communications, maybe a new love interest. And if it's not a new love interest type of communication or partnership, because it could be about money and partnerships, professional partnerships, it could be one that already exists, but something kind of spicy and new, something different, something we haven't talked about or done before type of energy. Can be somebody older, but Uranus likes excitement, and Mercury's going to be touching on that. So that gives you, that's within the next 7 days. Mercury will be touching on the Uranus and the Venus, the desire energy. Oh, I'm on the weeks. Hold on a minute. This thing just went crazy on me. It went ahead. Hold on. Yeah, your birthday's on the 17th. Let me change this thing. But we're talking before then. I mean, we're talking like starting tomorrow, starting Monday. Yeah, Mercury doesn't move slow. It's a pretty quick mover. So there's some shock and surprising information, deeply bonded energy, partnership. Let me see if Saturn's in the conversation here at all with this. Yes, Saturn. Oh, Lord. Saturn is in the conversation. Holy shit. Okay. So Saturn is going forward. Mercury's talking to Saturn, and let me see if you have something else. Okay, Jupiter's down there at 24. Uranus is over there. That's what's going to happen. You got Uranus at this opposite end in Taurus, 28 degrees. I think I need to eat more food. I'm getting super cold. I know. I'm not hungry, but I'm getting really freaking cold. And that's what happens. I get cold when I'm tired. I get cold when I'm hungry. Like it just, cold is the thing for me, which is better than migraines or something horrible like that. But, what's interesting about this is this is kind of frustrating because Jupiter already went past your Sirius. And it's like you're right there, but not quite. So it has to do with a long-term thing, a goal, a commitment type of thing, possibly, but home and family. Your emotions for sure, because Jupiter is part of this, and emotions can be a little out of whack when we have Jupiter in a retrograde. But the partnerships is the 7th house. And so it's Mercury connecting with the Jupiter, connecting with your Sirius, my emotions. This is what will make me feel emotionally stable and secure. And then Saturn, which represents a long-term commitment, right? It can be professional and it can be private. But it can be confusing in Pisces. And then it's like the alignment for this beautiful, sweet trine, it's like it just misses it or something. Or like you're just right there, but not quite. So I don't know if there was any talk about something serious. I don't know if you're married. I don't know if you're yeah, I can't remember everybody's lives specifically. But I do remember seeing the Venus and the Uranus in your chart like that together. And so I don't know if you were waiting on a long-term commitment to come to fruition, or you had somebody who wants that, but you didn't. I remember something like that. But anyway, so This is kind of like that energy, but it doesn't look like it actually connects strongly. So basically, it's just different and new, and I need freedom kind of energy, as opposed to, yeah, let's do this forever kind of energy. So let me see. Venus will be at 9 degrees in the eighth house for you. So, eighth house is deeply bonded energy, but it can be healings. Um, and with the Jupiter kind of Saggy energy, it's expansive. But fear is a big word here because the Jupiter, the Sagittarius stuff kind of really takes whatever is hidden. You know how fear, we can't see it, but we know it when we feel it, right? So what Jupiter does is it takes it and it just goes, and that fear just gets us right here, man. It just kind of grips our chest. And this is energy that, because you have a lot of Saggy in your eighth, you have quite a few planets there. If there's stuff you're wrestling with, because the eighth house is like, okay, I need to go and talk to somebody professionally to process all this crap. There's stuff that I don't even know about. Like, I can feel it, but I don't understand where it's coming from because you even have Neptune in your eighth house. So this means like there's a lot of stuff from another reality, another time, soul memory, however you want to look at it, that can conjure up some really intense emotions that really kind of just blow up sometimes. But there might be there might be some stuff that needs to get processed and released and cleared. But you might benefit from the help of somebody who helps people do that kind of shit for a living. That's not me. But when people have stuff loaded in their eighth house, that's usually the recommendation. And if there's a hesitation about bonded energy and commitment, like, so maybe if you are married, maybe there can still be stuff from the past that needs to be processed. So if that's a thing, yeah, you might want to, I don't know, give it a whirl around this time because you'll just have a lot of planets going through your eighth house. And actually, it won't be until Mercury gets there. That would be the better time. So if you're, yeah, like I said, I can't remember all the different people, but if you're in a committed relationship, then maybe, like I said, something new, something exciting, a nice little surprise, that would be great. But yeah, that bonded energy can be tricky when we have Saggy in the eighth house, because the eighth house is my vulnerabilities. So for whatever reason, that's what jumped out at me. And hopefully, because that's like on the 7th. Yeah, that's, like I said, that's starting tomorrow. But then as you move along to like even like your birthday week, yeah, you'll have on the 10th, Mars then enters your 9th house, which is maybe some traveling or at least thoughts about traveling. But usually Mars isn't thinking, it's taking action energy. You have Mars on your sun. You have a lot of energy then, 10th, 11th, and the 12th. And then, yeah, when it gets closer to your birthday, Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius, and it's going to be in your 8th house. So that stuff I talked about, like things that are deep and powerful and intense and vulnerabilities from the past, that's when that will all kind of come up, actually, like the birthday week. And sometimes we just do some recollecting, and we start thinking about the past and the present and the future and that whole thing. But travel plans, maybe, because that's what Saggy likes to do, talks like about vacation. And so if that's on the menu for you, I don't know, but if it is, then yeah, it might have like a nostalgic feel to it. There might be something that a reminiscing type of feeling, because the 8th house will be loaded. Everything's in Saggy at that time. Yeah. 17th, 18th. The moon is even in frickin' Saggy for 2.5 days. So, which is actually very optimistic energy. It's very forward thinking, it's optimistic, and it's definitely thinking about its future for sure. Very confident energy. Okay, well then there you go. You play making travel plans, and there you go. Yeah. Well, happy birthday. Have fun with that Saggy energy because it's always ready for an adventure, and everything will be in Saggy then. Woohoo! Oh, and a vacation. Good for you. Good, good, good. I am glad to hear that. Yeah. Hopefully professional. Yeah, maybe. That would be nice, right? Whether it's a bonus or a little something, something, be like, hey, yeah. All right. So who's after Sinister Days? Um, um, yeah. Does anybody know who would be after Sinister Days? I'm really lost. Oh, Abatha, thank you. Thank you. Stacy knows. Stacy's like, why don't you just ask me? Well, I hate to make you feel like you have a job, so I just try to figure this shit out. And then if I'm grateful that you're here to do that, but Abatha, are you here? That's what it says. It says you're next. I'm looking for your chart, Abatha. There it is. I got your name. I got your chart. Abatha said, I'm here. Oh, Abatha, let's see what we got here. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, I see the nodes are getting close to your fifth house. I'm sorry, your second house cusp line. At least the north node will. Okay. Oh, that'll be an interesting time. So that's in the future, not long into the future, but it's a few months away. You have a vertex and an anti-vertex right on your second and your eighth house cusp lines. That's what's jumping out. I don't know why those didn't really ever jump out for me before for you, but they are. And that's that faded energy. And so when the nodes get there, I would imagine that's going to be, let's see some other things. Yeah, you have some trigger point stuff happening. Okay. So the nodes will trigger. Let's see what we're working with here. All right. Let me see your Saggy. Oh, you have a lot of stuff in Saggy. Ah, holy moly. Wow. It's like a rebirth altogether for you. Holy crap. Okay, so if I go back and do this, yeah, look at all this. You got all this here. So we've got Venus right now. Did you get any good news? I know you were waiting on some good news. Venus touched your Mercury. The sun touched your Pluto. You've got Juno up in the sky touching on your sun right now. Mars was there. Any surprises? Oh, I see. That's right. Your surprises come with your physical body. Okay. And Venus is your greater benefic. Okay. So we want this Venus to bring us some good information, some good surprises, something beneficial, hopefully. Let's see what we're looking at here. Yeah, there is going to be some interesting energy coming up. I'm hoping when this Mercury moves into Sagittarius for you, which is going to be pretty soon. Well, for all of us. But for you, it's a big deal because you're having a Mercury come home to its natal Mercury. And it's in Saggy. So if you haven't had any information, yeah, December 13th is your birthday, and that's where I'm at. I'm on December 13th. This is when you'll have Mercury touching your natal Mercury. So news and information about the future, possibly, maybe, if you do traveling or, but this has to do with your long-term goals even. I know in the past you mentioned something about creating something or starting a business because it's in the 10th house of career and goals, long-term financial security. And let me see if you got anything that might throw things your way. All right, so while that's happening, this can be, you have Neptune down here at 2 degrees. So this could be a connection and a communication, government energy. It's Neptune at 2 degrees. Mercury's in a sextile with that. Your natal Mercury always is. So it's a communication. And I hope that makes sense for you. If it's not government energy, it's institutional energy of some sort. Or communication, whether it's a phone call or something in the mail, snail mail. Let's see what else we're going to look at your Venus, and let's see what happens. Your sun has come home. Yeah, and now we're in your 11th house of friends and group energy, but also the house of surprises. It's Sagittarius energy. Yeah, so this is also coming upon the time where Pluto is going to touch your Neptune. And Mars is at 29 degrees. This is kind of an interesting day. So Mars at 29. It wants to be traveling, that's for sure, but it's all about freedom, for sure. And what do I need to feel free? But it's going to be touching Juno energy for you. You have a partnership energy, material, tangible. Again, this is like institutional government energy. Yeah, it's in your 12th house, or almost the 12th house. Let me see what the aspects of this Mercury are going to be. See if we've got some other stuff here. It's different. It's talking about the future. There is some optimism here. And Mars in Sagittarius, right? Super confident energy. Might be a little overconfident because it's in Saggy, and that's one of the precautions for all of us, especially if we have our Venus there. Because that's our desires and our money and our love. And Venus can get a little blown out of proportions in Sagittarius. She even likes to have a little drinky drink. So on your birthday, I like that you have energy that will be supporting adventure and having a good time and laughter and optimism and optimistic energy, thinking about the future. You'll also have the sun up in the sky conjunct your sun, but they also trine your Jupiter, which is nice because you have a nice Jupiter. I like your Jupiter in the 3rd house. It is optimistic and it is forward thinking and it is futuristic in that sense, but positive, youthful, fun. So that's nice too. But yeah, hopefully this Mercury brings you some news and some information that you're like, yes, because on this day, the Mercury that's coming through is going to be at 2 degrees. It is about values and in desires and money and Venus energy. So it can be, it can be pleasant. It can be harmonious. And Saggy energy can be really social when it wants to be. It can be like even the life of the party when it wants to be. I know everybody talks to Leo energy about that, but boy, I've known some Saggies that are like larger than life. But then when they're not, they're not. You know what I'm saying? It's like they kind of got that solo adventure trying to journey type of thing they're going on. The moon will be in Libra on your birthday. Yeah, I don't see any connections here to other than this damn. Oh, this is Isis. I was going to say this damn Pandora's box. If she's coming up again, well, she will be connected with the moon on this day. Pandora's box and the moon. So it is in Libra. It is in relationships. It is in the house, the 9th house, thinking about the future. But overall, yeah, I would just go with the flow. And if adventure is on your menu and experiences and, maybe even traveling a little bit, if you can do that, like that would be, that's part of what Saggy wants to do. And again, some people can't like literally get in the airplane and go, but they can travel in different ways. Whether it's religion and spirituality, meditation, astral traveling, remote viewing, like Sagittarius is really good for all that stuff. But your 11th house and friends, there's a lot of energy here. And that's where the sunlight will be. And that's where your sun is. Friends and group energy. So I would say embrace the energy of that day and have a good time. The only thing that I see here that I don't care for, of course, is because it's the moon with this transiting Pandora. And I think that because I'm looking at some of the other degrees in your chart, I think that it is going to be already past. Yeah. If anything, the days leading up to it, the Pandora and the moon together, because the moon moves pretty fast, yeah, would have been a thing, earlier. But I think by the time your birthday is there, it looks like they're not so much of a big deal for you. Oh, good. Neptune energy. Neptune's about smells. It sure is. Having Pluto on your Neptune. That's a great idea. Woohoo. Well, that Sagittarius energy is about publishing. It's about preaching and teaching, but it's taking that adventure, going large with something, Sagittarius, Jupiter, go big or go home type of thing. So hopefully you have great success. Yeah, all these December birthdays, huh? All right. Okay. What? Oh, we're at the 11. We're at the 11 o'clock hour already. Holy crap! I didn't realize that. I made it! Yay! Okay, Abatha, we got you in. I'm glad we got you in, and we'll be back again next week, folks. Yep, we will be here next week. Just remember though that we do this privately. The last Saturday of every month, if you want to be involved in the private lives, you send me an email and I'll communicate back to you and we'll go from there. Or come back here next week. and we will do it all over again and look at new charts or look at the same. It just depends on who's here. If you want me to take extended looks at your chart, you send a gift to the channel and I spend serious time on your chart. Other than that, I kind of just go through and give you a quick read. All right. So I think we're all done. And I thank you, Stacy, very, very much for all you've done. And the December, before I forget, I know I said it already, or maybe twice, the December private lives is already full. It's limited space only. So for the January one, if you want in on it, please email me as soon as possible, because then that way I can get your name in there. It is very limited space. I keep it very small and very private. All right. And we're done. We are out of here. Thank you so much, Stacy. And thank you for everybody that sent gifts to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.